I got a message last week from someone I hadn't spoken to in 3 years. I just had some good news. A thing at work. The kind of thing you wait years for. And out of nowhere, this text. Saying he had heard about what I had been doing lately. And that he always knew I had it in me. 3 years of nothing. And that's what breaks the silence.
Who is he?
A kid I grew up next to. Same street, same school, same everything. He was the one all the adults held up. For about 15 years, the sentence in my house was, "Why can't you be more like him?"
And that text, what did it do to you?
The first thing I did before I told anyone, before I even sat with it, I pictured his face, him hearing about it. Not my parents, not the people who were actually there for it.
The person who wasn't even in the room.
He's always in the room. That's the thing nobody warns you about. You can move cities, you can stop talking to someone for years, and they're still the first face you picture when something finally goes right.
Why him, do you think? Out of everyone.
There was this project, school thing, we must have been 9, 10. I put everything into it, it took me weeks, honestly. And I got it back and it was good. Really good. I was so proud walking home I could barely hold it flat. And I ran into him on the way and I showed him, cause I wanted him to see it. And he just looked at it, did this little thing with his face and said, "Yeah, it's good but mine's better." Not even cruel about it, just certain. Like it was a law of nature. And the worst part is I believed him. I was 9 and I just accepted it.
And that just stuck with you all your life?
It would have faded. Kids say that stuff constantly, but then I got home, and I showed the same project to my mom, and she smiled, and she said I'd done really well. She meant it. For about 2 seconds, it was the best day of my life. And then she asked how he did in the same project.
She asked how he did.
Yeah, how he'd scored, where he'd come. And I remember something in me just going quiet, because it meant she couldn't tell whether to be proud of me until she knew where I landed against him. My own work wasn't enough on its own. It needed a place in the ranking first. And the person the ranking ran against was already him. In my own house.
So it wasn't one wound, it was one on top of the other.
Exactly. Same afternoon, he told me his was better. And then my own mother, without meaning any harm at all, needed to check if he was right before she knew how proud to be. She wasn't being cruel. She probably doesn't remember it happened. But that was the day the scoreboard got installed. Not by me. By the two people I most wanted to just see me.
So you never actually beat him?
There was no bell. No day where someone finally said, "Okay, you win, you can stop now." So I just kept going, kept scoring. I'm still standing in that kitchen holding the project up, waiting for the one thing neither of them gave me. For someone to look at what I did, and not ask about anyone else.
Okay. Can I ask you something that might sound strange?
Yeah, go on.
Do you keep things? Proof. Old certificates, that kind of thing.
There's a shelf in my closet. Every certificate, every result going back to school. I don't look at it. I couldn't throw a single one away.
Why keep what you never look at?
I keep telling myself it's just memories. Everyone keeps their old stuff, right? Parents keep it, but that's not it. I don't keep it to remember. I keep it because throwing it away feels like conceding something. Like if I bin it, I've dropped the case I've been quietly making my whole life.
A case for what? For whom?
That's the embarrassing part. Nobody's asking. There's no one sitting there demanding I prove myself. I've been building a defense for a trial that's never going to happen. For one person who doesn't even know he's the judge.
I see. So you canceled the race, but you kept the referee.
Yeah, I kept the referee. I kept the stopwatch. The whole scoreboard still running in my head. And the kid from my street doesn't even know the game's still on. He's just living his life. Probably hasn't thought about me in years. And I've got a shelf.
And what does the scoreboard measure?
Whatever he'd count. That's the trap, isn't it? It's not enough to win. I have to win at the things he'd be impressed by. His categories. So even when I'm winning, I'm playing his game. I broke away from him and took his rulebook with me.
Sounds like you left the person behind and kept their handwriting on the scoreboard.
Can I tell you the bit I've never said out loud?
Yeah, sure.
I check on him. A few times a year, something sets it off, and I'll look him up. 10 minutes, where he's working what he's doing. Then I close it and get on with my day like it never happened.
What are you looking for?
That's the question, isn't it? I tell myself it's curiosity, but I'm checking the score, and some part of me is hoping the numbers are in my favor.
And if they're not?
Then it ruins about 4 days. Something good could be happening in my actual life that week and it'll just sit under it. That's the thing nobody admits. A stranger's promotion shouldn't be able to reach into your week and turn the lights down. But it does. And you can't tell anyone because how do you say that out loud without sounding
small?
Small, yeah. So you don't say it. You just carry it around and call it drive.
So, did you reply to the message?
I did. Which turned into a call because, of course it did. And about 4 minutes in, he starts advising me on my own work. Things I've been doing for years. He's explaining them to me. What I should be focusing on, what he'd do in my position, who I should be talking to. 20 minutes of it. I didn't ask for any of it.
And what were you saying during all that?
I just said, yeah, definitely good, makes sense. That's it.
And what did you actually want to say?
Underneath, I wanted to put the phone through the wall, because he's still doing it. All these years later, he's still talking to me like he's the one out in front and I'm catching up. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, good point. And there's this thing in my chest just going, you don't get to. You don't get to be the one who explains this to me.
Did you say any of that though?
Not a word. I have never said a single word of it. All this time, and he genuinely has no idea I'm angry. He thinks we're two old friends catching up.
So where does it go? All the anger and rage you never spent.
Into work. That's the honest answer. And I don't think I've said it out loud before. It doesn't evaporate just because he swallowed it. It goes into the next thing. I am hardest on myself in the week after I speak to him, every single time. I'll take on more than I should. I'll cut sleep, and I'll call it discipline. It's not discipline. It's an argument I never had, and I'm using my own life as the volume.
Anger you never speak doesn't leave you. It just converts into effort.
And there's a part it's not only that I want to beat him, it's that I refuse to become him. I don't want to be the man who explains himself to people who didn't ask. I don't want to need everyone to know I'm ahead. So I'm running toward beating him. I'm running away from being him.
Which is still two directions you chose.
Yeah. Chasing him or refusing him. Either way, I'm using him for directions.
Let me tell you something, because I don't want to sit here like I'm above this.
Please.
When I was young, there was a man, an older cousin, everyone's golden example. And I spent, I'd say, 20 years building a life that was quietly a reply to him. The job, the house, the whole thing. And I got there. I got everything I set out to get. And when it was done, I realized the shape of everything, the exact list was his. I never sat down and chose what a good life looked like. I inherited his version and beat him at it.
How did it feel? Did it feel like winning?
It felt like finishing someone else's sentence. He'd forgotten he ever started it.
That's the part that gets me. They forget. The one comment that built your whole life, they don't even remember saying it.
They handed you a vow you never agreed to, and you've been keeping it so faithfully you forgot it wasn't yours.
That's what the kitchen was. A promise I never heard myself make. One day I'll do something so good that nobody thinks to ask about anyone else. And I've paid on that promise every year since. Chances I didn't take because they didn't fit the case I was building. Always thinking once I've clearly undeniably won, then I'll relax, then I'll choose things just for me. But the finish line was never mine to set. Two people said it in one afternoon. A boy who said his was better, and a mother who needed to know if he was right before she could be proud of me. And then both of them just moved on. Everyone moved on. I'm the only one still standing there holding it up.
So how do you stop running a race with no finish line?
I don't think you announce it. I don't think there's a moment where you throw out the shelf and feel free. That's not real.
What's real then?
I think you catch it in the moment. The next time something good happens, and it will, I'll feel that reflex. The face. The kid from my street finding out. And instead of chasing it, I'm gonna stop and actually look at it. Ask whose approval am I reaching for right now? And is he even someone I respect anymore? Or just someone I never finished proving myself to?
And if it's the second one?
Then that's not ambition. That's an unpaid debt to a person who left. And I can decide, maybe for the first time, not to pay it.
You won't get a verdict. He's never gonna sit you down and say you won.
I know. That's what I finally get. There's no verdict coming because there was never a judge. Just a kid who needed one and built one out of the nearest tall shadow. The race ends when I stop keeping time. Not when he says stop. When I do.
And here's the only thing to carry out of this. The next time something good happens to you, the same hour it happens, catch the first face that shows up. Not who you'll call, who you imagine finding out. And then ask one question about that face. Are they someone you love or someone you're still trying to prove wrong? Because you're allowed to stop running. But first you have to notice you're still on the track.
The first face. I didn't even have to think about it. It was already there. It's probably already there for anyone listening too.
Then that's where the work is. Whoever just showed up for you.